Joint practice is in the books for your Seattle Seahawks as for the first time since 1991, the Seahawks had joint practice sessions, this time with the Tennessee Titans in Nashville ahead of their preseason game coming up on Saturday against the Titans. It was a 2-day period, Wednesday and Thursday, off day on Friday, and then, of course, they'll face off at Nissan Stadium in Nashville on Saturday. The starters not expected to play after getting heavy reps in the 2 sessions of joint practices. On today's show, we'll go over the top winners and losers from joint practices for your Seattle Seahawks. We'll go over those in just a moment. Before we do, folks, we are so close to 54,000 subscribers here on the channel, just 17 away. And I've been told that if we don't get there by the end of the day, the bosses say we're going to make the channel private. Don't let that happen. Sub now. Join the family of 12s for daily Seahawks coverage. It's going to be live for every game this season, doing our live shows during the week, Q&A mailbags, breaking news, daily news and rumors and more. It's right here on Seahawks Today. Subscribe now. You'll be glad you did. Let's get a little leaky-reeky with Riq Woolen, as he's the first winner on our winners list. And Riq Woolen was just simply fantastic over these 2 days for Seattle. And if you're Calvin Ridley, you are not going to want to see Riq Woolen anytime soon. In fact, if you're the Titans wide receivers, you are very lucky that you don't have to face this guy in practice every day or throughout the regular season as the Seahawks don't play the Titans. Because, let's be honest, Riq Woolen, he was Calvin Ridley's daddy. And pardon my French, taking it a step further, I mean, to just put it nicely, folks, Riq Woolen, he made Calvin Ridley his bitch. That's how much he owned him in joint practices these 2 days. New Era 72 tweeting out the following. He's literally looking at his hips the whole time. Elite technique and freakish attributes is a certified top 10 cornerback. The leap from Woolen is about to be scary for the NFL, and I could not agree more. What do you guys think? Do you believe in Riq Woolen? Is this going to be a big year for the Seahawks corner? I'm giving you 2 options here. Type B for believe, type D for don't. Don't show your D in the chat. Spam B for believe that you believe in Riq Woolen. Answer our pinned comment today and let us know. Next up, Pharaoh. Whoa, he's a little banged up now. Pharaoh Brown was carted off the field in practice on Thursday, and it isn't exactly clear what the extent of the injury issue is, but it doesn't help the concern at the depth at that tight end position for the Seahawks, as they don't have a ton of options. Noah Fant's already been banged up a bit. We don't know what A.J. Barner is going to do. More on him, actually, coming up later. It's a bit concerning what's going on at that tight end spot right now. Let's go to Bob, Seattle Bob, saying the following. One injury of note. Tight end Pharaoh Brown hurt his lower left leg and was carted off. Macdonald didn't have details on a severity. He also has no updates on guys who sat out today who'd sat out before. So we'll continue to follow that and let you know when we get more updates on Pharaoh Brown. Another one on the winners list. Let's go to Christian Haynes, the Seahawks rookie offensive guard, the 3rd-round selection out of UConn. And we know about the battle going on at the right guard spot right now between Christian Haynes and Anthony Bradford. And this was one of the best showings that we've seen throughout the offseason from Christian Haynes. And to do it in live action against an opposing team was a big deal for Christian Haynes as he's trying to win this job. Greg Bell of the Tacoma Tribune said the following. Best training camp day yet for rookie Christian Haynes. Started in 11-on-11 over Bradford in second. Hashtag Seahawks joint practice at Titans in one-on-one pass rush. 2-time pass rushers to the ground. Pushed Tennessee's Quentin Bohannon in the back while he was already down. They go to nose and jaws. So good stuff there from Christian Haynes on that front. We've named a couple winners already. We got a few more to get to. Weigh in. Let us know in the chat right now who's a winner from joint practices between the Seahawks and the Titans. Weigh in the comment section and let us know. Next up, we find our old friend. Jamal Adams makes the losers list. The former Seahawk, now a member of the Tennessee Titans, And I got to tell you, I was reminded this week why I am so glad, so happy that Jamal Adams is no longer a member of the Seattle Seahawks, because it was typical Jamal, right? All talk, yap, 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 and no action. Like a politician or something out there, Jamal Adams. I mean, it was just simply ridiculous. Now, things kind of simmered a bit. He was a little friendlier on Thursday compared to what he was Wednesday, but he still didn't do much. And I know there was talk this offseason about potentially bringing Jamal back as a linebacker, but thank heavens the Seahawks didn't do it, because it's what Jamal Adams is. A guy that yaps, he talks a lot but produces nothing and can't stay healthy. And he's already dealing with health issues in Tennessee. Greg Bell tweeting out the following: everything but the fighting at Seahawks Titans joint practice. Devin Witherspoon intercepts Will Levis on the first play of a 2-minute drill. He parades down the Titans sideline, seeking Jamal Adams there, finds him, hands Adams the ball, keeps running to the end zone without it, waving to the Titans. So how about that, Jamal Adams? Suck on those nuts and deal with that. Let's go to Byron Murphy. He's on our winners list. Byron Murphy's been fantastic, and it's been a work in progress, right? This is a guy that at the beginning of this offseason, we heard Mike Macdonald be very hard on Byron Murphy, telling him he was out of shape, that he had work to do. Then they put the pads on. Byron Murphy turned into a different player. He was fantastic in the preseason game on Saturday against the Chargers. The hype is real, and this was another great showing from him. Mike Macdonald doesn't even want to give credit to Byron Murphy because he's trying to push him, trying to keep him humble. He means well. It's tough love here. He's a fan, don't get me wrong. But when Mike Macdonald was asked about Byron Murphy and all the hype, he kind of grinned a little bit and he said, "What are you talking about?" Mike Macdonald knows exactly what's going on. Byron Murphy had this to say on joint practices: "Man, just having that speed, that first quick step, that twitch, it means a lot. It helps me separate myself from others. It helps me defeat offensive linemen. They aren't as quick as me. I use that as an advantage." And boy, does he ever. Last on the losers list, we turn our attention to Draymond Jones. Draymond Jones, he's coming off a bad year last year. This guy's the highest paid player on the Seahawks defense. And last year, every time he cashed a paycheck, he was stealing money, right? Now, throughout this offseason, we heard the good signs like, hey, making this transition to outside linebacker. Still going to play some defensive end. He's going to provide some flexibility for the Seahawks defense and all that. But where is he? I mean, you might as well put him on a milk carton because he's been missing. Like, no one knows where Draymond Jones is. And a little banged up, not being involved in practice. I mean, are we going to see this guy? Because he needs to get out there pretty soon so they can install this defense and figure out what role exactly Draymond Jones is going to play. Brady Henderson of the Mothership writing the following: Draymond Jones, who recently returned from a hamstring injury, left the field midway through practice and didn't return to action. Jones was away from the team during voluntary OTAs for the birth of his child. That's fine. Between the absence and the nearly 2 weeks of camp he missed because of his hamstring, he's been on the field for less than 10 practices in Macdonald's scheme. Really? That's something to keep in mind if whatever sidelined him on Wednesday ends up lingering. Who is a loser from Seahawks Titans joint practices? I've given you my losers. Loser, total loser. Who is your total loser from the Seahawks Titans joint practices? Spam Jamal if you want. Spam F Jamal for that matter. Let us know who your loser is in the comments section. Byron Murphy jerseys. He's a winner. He's definitely not a loser. And we got his jerseys on sale now at jetsports.com/Murphy. The home jersey, the road jersey, the alternate jersey. He'll wear the number 91. Add a 9 to that one. And because I am a nice guy, I am willing and able to give you free shipping. But you have to buy the jersey first. Go to chatsports.com/Murphy. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. Get your Byron Murphy jerseys today. These things are going hot, folks. Next up, Daryl Taylor. Yes, Daryl Taylor on the winners list. That might be a shocker to some people, but let me explain. Daryl Taylor, is coming off of a disappointing campaign last year, right? And we've seen him get benched over and over again. He's been given plenty of opportunities. We know he can get after the quarterback. Had 9.5 sacks in 2022. Led the Seahawks in sacks. What we saw on Thursday was a breakthrough day for Daryl Taylor. Something he badly needed, not only to make the roster, but to be in the rotation. With as much as Derek Hall has improved, with Uchenna Nwosu back from injury, with Boye Mafe expected to take a next step. If Daryl Taylor wants to play a significant role, then what we saw in joint practices was a step in the right direction. Brady Henderson said the following. Daryl Taylor had at least 2 sacks during the scrimmage periods. On one of them, he had what would have been a clean shot on rolling out Rudolph. This was a good example of a benefit of joint practices, which allows teams to get scrimmage reps against each other, but in a controlled environment in which the quarterbacks is protected. If that play happens in a preseason game, Taylor wouldn't have eased up, and Rudolph would have taken a hard hit. Last on our winners list, we go to the tight end spot. The rookie, A.J. Barner, the third rookie on our winners list. We haven't talked a lot about A.J. Barner this offseason, if we're going to be honest with you. But what we saw this past joint practice was a pretty good outing. This is the first time we've really talked about him, and it was good to see because the tight end position, there's some big question marks. And A.J. Barner showed that he might be able to play a significant role on this Seahawks offense. Brady Henderson said the following. Rookie tight end A.J. Barner missed much of the spring with a hamstring injury and has not stood out as a pass catcher returning. But he fared well in one-on-ones against the Titans' defensive backs. Barner caught all 3 passes thrown his way in that drill. His roster spot is all but secured as a 4th-round pick. But Brady Russell, vying to make the team as the 4th tight end behind Noah Fant, Pharaoh Brown, and Barner, has generally been the more impressive of the 2. So there you have it. That is your full breakdown of winners and losers from joint practices. You have one thing left to do before you end this video and go watch something else. You have to subscribe to Seahawks Today. It's the last thing you need to do today. Subscribe now, youtube.com/SeahawksTV. I'm Tyler Jones. We'll see you next time.